We're going to start today, though, with deciding whether adoption is right for you. And clearly, the first step is deciding about your medical treatments and how do you know when enough is enough. And so we have Dr. Andrea Braverman here to talk to you about that. She is the Director of Complementary Care at RMA of New Jersey. Some of you may know her. And she is also a licensed psychologist specializing in infertility counseling and third-party reproduction issues. And she deals with family building options counseling as well. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm delighted to be asked to join you this morning. You fast forward to 2008, and there is no stopping point when you're going through treatment. There is the question of when is enough falls on the individual and the couple's shoulders and not on anybody's else's. At RMA, we can offer you basically, if you're having problems with a female factor, if it's eggs, we can offer egg donor. Male sperm donor. If you have uterine problems, we can offer you a gestational carrier, although you can't deliver in New Jersey. We have embryo donation. You could actually, and I have had some couples use a sperm donor, egg donor, and a gestational carrier. So when is enough? Comes back to you. So it is a very complex decision, and once you decide to build your family, it becomes an inwardly focused decision. And adoption is one that often, even at our clinic, we sort of almost scoot over because we have so much more to offer you now, and it sort of gets thrown out along with the list of other ways to build your family. I will tell you, in all my years of doing this, I think really, if you peel back all the layers of when is enough, it really is that it's not a single moment in time, is it? That's in the movies. In the movies, there's always that aha moment, and then there's the appropriate swell of music in the background, and then you go off, and we all know who's playing us in the movie of our life. For me, I've got a couple of contenders, but it is that dramatic moment. In real life, it's not usually that way. It's not that you do a cycle, find out that you're not pregnant, and say, that's it, that's enough, it is enough. No, for some people it is. It's really just that I can't take it anymore. But I think for most people, it's been working up to that. And it's that shift from saying, I want to have a pregnancy myself or with my partner, to saying I want to be able to say, oh, I see my eyes, your ears, Uncle Harry's nose in this child, to saying, I want to be a parent. And whether you choose adoption or egg donation or embryo donation or whatever it might be, I think it is really that when you start to walk down a different path, it's saying, enough. It is in terms of giving a little bit more space to other needs rather than the ones that we just assume are there. When we circle back to the when is enough, you have to remember that's part of what's driving the when is enough. Those needs start coming to the forefront of saying my need is to experience all of that, and that lets me let go of this one way that I thought I was going to become a parent and open up room for other ways. And for many ways, what I will say is it's a walk along. We just assume I'm going to walk through that door. And there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to walk through that door unless I come up to that door and somebody's closed it. And not only closed it at this point, it locked it. So, what do we usually do? We pick up our heads, look around, and we say, okay, what other doors might be open for me to walk through? And I think that's more sort of a description of, as many people say, of the process. But just keep in mind, that decision of when is enough is individual. There isn't a formula, unlike another friend of mine who was a very accomplished businesswoman who did come up with an algorithm for this and ended up throwing it out the window because she had weighting factors and all that, but every time she would come up and she'd plug in the numbers, it just wouldn't work. So it is a complicated route, and it's a back and forth. Like most things, we take a few steps forward with that decision, a few steps back, and the last thing is, remember, make that journey, if you have a partner, with a partner who's doing it at their speed. So it's a negotiation process also.